Hello, and welcome to the Sacred Heart Shaman podcast, where we talk about spiritual healing, shamanic wisdom, and the challenges of walking the healer's path. My name is Nadia Harenkiu, and today is episode number 32, The Importance of Changing Your Core Beliefs.
Hello, and welcome to the podcast. Today, I am doing something super unconventional, and I'm recording this podcast while I'm in the car. Because sometimes inspiration and big ideas and topics come to you in inopportune moments. And instead of sitting down and outlining all of it and going over it again later today, I'm just going to record it. Today, we're going to be talking about core belief work. Now, core belief work is at the foundation of all personal development, all spiritual development. It's something we talk about a lot, but don't actually know how to address, which kind of blows my mind. It's a huge theme in my work with clients, like in my personal work and my work with clients. And just one of those things that if we don't have it under control, if we don't have a good awareness about it, if we don't understand, if we don't heal, we can't go anywhere on our journey. We can't. We will get stuck. We will spin our wheels. We will go down side quests and side roads without actually moving forward. And life gets miserable and sticky and gross. So I want to talk about the core belief work. Specifically, it has been a major theme in my life since I started this path, and I didn't know it. I didn't know it. My very first time working with a legitimate shaman and sitting in a legitimate ceremony was so hard and so awful, and I was being crushed to death. Unimaginable pain, exhaustion. I was sick. I was spinning. I could not figure out how to get my feet under me. And by the end of the ceremony, I was exhausted. And I said, I don't have anything else to give. What do you want from me? And the medicine said, I don't want anything. You are enough. And I lost it. I absolutely lost it. And it was the first time in my life that I felt like I was enough. As who I am, as what I do, as a mother, as a wife, as a woman, as a human. It was a groundbreaking moment for me. But the problem with these things happening in ceremony is that we often can't take that experience home with us in the same way. That ceremony experience happened almost a decade ago, 8 years ago. I'm not really sure. Time is very weird for me. You will notice that my gauge of time is very poor because sometimes a week feels like a year and sometimes a year feels like a day. So this ceremony happened a number of years ago, and it was profound and also didn't stick. So I received the first awareness in this ceremony of, I don't feel like I'm enough. And what does that mean? What do you do with that information? How do you heal it? And gosh, how many layers are there to I am not good enough? Do we ever heal it? Now, I'm kind of under the impression that as long as a core belief exists in the collective, there are still pieces of it that exist within us. So the answer is, you can always find a new layer of this core belief and how it's running your life in some way. So never think that there's ever a finish line to anything that I'm talking about, because there definitely is not. But there is a line that you can cross over where you finally start really enjoying your life. You feel fulfilled, you feel driven, you feel energetic and happy 50% of the time. I can't guarantee you happiness 100% of the time, because I don't think life works that way. I don't think that we would actually be fulfilled if we didn't have a level of challenge and grief and all the human experiences that we do have. So I'm not going to say you'll be happy 100% of the time, but you will be happy and you won't be stuck. And there will be something that moves you and propels you forward. So in core belief work, often seeing the core belief for the first time is a pivotal moment, right? Awesome. I saw it. I recognized it. Oh shit, it permeates my life. But the what to do with it is never something that was taught. It's never something that I have come across. I've been in so many kinds of therapy and coaching and, as an adolescent, as a child, as a young adult, and nobody ever talked about core beliefs. I've read about them. I've done some inner work around them over the years, but really over the last decade, it became so clear to me that core beliefs are the foundation for growth. And you guys know, I'm on a pretty intense path, right? I'm a highly sensitive individual. I'm very gifted. I do have trauma. And I have the capacity to process and evolve very, very, very quickly. And I do believe it's because of the core belief work that I've done. So after I had this big ceremony experience, I started going to a different level with my personal work. And a problem for me has always been being able to find a teacher or a class or some kind of container that could meet me on my level. I always have teachers tell me that what I experience is impossible. A lot of times they talk to me like I'm crazy. And that's fine, that they can think that I'm crazy, but it makes it hard for me to find a space to evolve, to learn. And so my learning has always been through the other side, through connecting with the land and the plants and the spirits and the angels and all of those beings that are in the unseen world. And from the start, I was shown how to look at core beliefs, how to deconstruct them, and bring shadow work to the core belief world. So this isn't just about, I have this belief that I'm not good enough. It's about seeing all of the parts of it, seeing all the parts that are hidden, that are not, of where the roots are, of what else it connects into, being able to really illuminate the full picture of my core beliefs. And yet that's only the first step. So illuminating the belief and all of the branches that it creates is awesome. And there's more, right? So when you get to the bottom of the core belief, okay, great, I have this belief, it started maybe at this age, I can remember it coming up big at this age, and then at this age. Well, that depends. Do we need to go in and do parts work with your 2-year-old, 4-year-old, and 6-year-old and talk to those aspects of yourself about the experience that they had that reinforced that belief? Yep, that's step number 1. Well, the 4-year-old actually isn't here. I can't even connect with her. So now what do? You do a soul retrieval. You go in and connect with her in the other world because she's unavailable to you in this world. Phenomenal. Okay. Then they taught me how to do soul retrieval. Did the soul retrieval. Now I feel what it's like to have a part that has been missing and is now back. And she has all these beliefs that now we can work on together. And she has all these gifts and abilities she's bringing to the table too. Amazing. But we're not done. Now we have to go back and look at the parents. Okay, which of these beliefs, wasn't even mine? Maybe I just saw my mom have it, and I assumed it was mine because that's what kids do, because kids are little empaths. They think everything is theirs. Oh, now I get to give it back. How do I do that? You do it with a ritual. You do it with more shadow work. Okay, I did that. I did the parts work, did soul retrieval, did some work with my mom. I still feel the roots. Okay, cool. Now we're going to do ancestral work. You see how it keeps going deeper, right? Your beliefs start in the collective. They start with your great-great-great-great-grandparents. They start with your childhood. You can go into depth with this work until you're blue in the face. And with every layer that you uncover and you heal, more of yourself gets revealed. More of your energy returns to your body. More perspectives of life and your path forward and whatever it is that you're feeling stuck on get revealed, much like they do in medicine ceremony. Right, the stuff that I talk about on this podcast is about living the medicine. All those things that people go take psychedelics for, you can gain the same access through doing this work. You just need somebody to show you how. And I think that's my job. So the core belief stuff, right? We do the mind work for ourselves. I call this mind mastery. It's awesome. And if you have a bunch of tools that you can use to do the mind work, it goes fast, as you can imagine. If you have structures and protocols in place where you're like, oh, I got triggered today, or oh, I'm stuck on making this decision, or I feel stuck in my relationship or in my job. What if you had a set of tools that you could turn to deconstruct it, to get yourself unstuck, instead of constantly having to go to somebody else to help get you unstuck, or to help you understand, digest, or unravel whatever it is that's bound up inside you. Right? These things come up all the time. This is not a one-time, oh, I have to deal with my core beliefs. It's ongoing. Absolutely ongoing. Exhausting and ongoing. And so with belief work, when you have a set of tools that you can use to analyze a situation on your own, deconstruct it, get to the bottom of it, do some significant healing work around it, you will experience major shifts in your life. Major. And those never stop either. You're going to uncover something big, and then you're going to shift. You're going to propel forward, and maybe you'll organically grow and change and shift some more, or maybe you'll have to come back and do more work around the beliefs. I suspect it's going to be the latter, based on my experience. And so it's awesome to have resources and tools to do this. Now, the other piece of this is shifting core beliefs is great, and it will promote change, create change. But you also have to be able to hold the vibration of the new belief. So if I've been operating in the belief system of I'm not good enough for the majority of my life, I'm 38, right? That's a lot of years of sitting in that vibration, and it's very comfortable. It feels very safe. Anything outside of that feels very unknown and uncomfortable. And if you don't know this about humans already, we hate to be uncomfortable. Look at our lifestyle. Look at all of the things available to us to bring us comfort. So the other part of this is vibration. It is frequency. And like, what does that mean? People in the spiritual work talk all the time about like attracts like, or the law of attraction, or vibrational matching. What does that mean? Okay, everything vibrates out of frequency. Literally everything, including you. So if you're sitting in a space of I'm not good enough, even if it's in the background, you have no awareness of it, or maybe you do, if that lives in your body, it is impacting your vibration. Maybe you're going to vibrate at a level 100 of 1,000. And your vibration does increase as you go through the personal work, as you clear out the denser emotions that you store inside your body. But I'm just using this as an example. So you're vibrating at level 100, and you dream of having this job where you have more freedom, you make more money, you really enjoy what you do, and that job vibrates at level 200. You can try and manifest all you want. You can take all the shortcuts. You cannot change your base vibration just by wanting it. Like, I'm sorry, you can't. It does not work that way on Earth. You have to clear out the denser vibration that lives in your body. You have to work on the core belief. You have to heal the parts of you that's holding on to it. You have to move through the emotions that prevents you from flipping out of that core belief. Guilt, shame, regret, sadness, anxiety. So if you can't hold that higher vibration, that belief of, I am good enough, I am so good enough that I can have this job where I'm going to be happy and making more money, if you can't hold the vibration, you're never going to be able to get the job. You just won't. Or you'll get it and you'll sabotage it or something of that nature, right? So the second part of belief work is changing your vibration, and I prefer to do the vibration shifting in tandem with the belief work. And there are things that you can do that will not set off your defenses, that will not set off your resistance in such a great way as shadow work or trauma work can do. But it will shift your vibration just enough to create forward momentum, to start getting you from level 100 to 200. And as you can feel that shifting happen, it makes the healing process easier and it makes it a lot faster. So recently, I have had this experience of seeing and feeling the emotion of self-doubt, this belief that I can't do it. Now, I have several core beliefs. I'm not good enough. I'm just going to stick with that one because that's the one I've been working on the longest. I'm not good enough. But I have a lot of self-doubt around things that I do, things that I create, putting myself out there. And the last couple months, I have been feeling the physical impact of that belief. Like how much it weighs on my body, how much of it is stored like in my weight, how much of it impacts my sleep. I, even doing this work, had no idea how much that core belief impacted me. And I've been able to shift and move forward and be happy and make money and like do all the things. I live a great life. And like I said, there's always more. So I'm getting to the bottom of another layer of this belief, right? And seeing how it's impacting me on a physical level in a way I had no idea how to recognize. And it occurred to me through talking this over with my coach that people don't know how to work well with core beliefs. They don't know how to get it out by the roots, how to address it as it comes up, and how big the impact can be if they shift it. And you only need to shift it over the halfway point. You're never going to be 100. You're always going to have moments of self-doubt and not being good enough. The goal is not perfection. It's progress. And I'm sitting here thinking about all of this a few weeks ago, and it dawned on me that I need to teach people how to do this. Like an actual program with actual structures and tools and measurable transformation that can take place within a relatively small period of time. And so I did, and so I am. So next month, I'm launching my first course, like virtual course with coursework and coaching and guided meditations and combining core belief work with the shamanic work, with the soul retrieval and shadow work and parts work and the perspective of energy vibration. So I've been designing this course the last couple weeks, and I kid you not, it has been nonstop angels. Now, as I've talked about a lot in my podcast, is that angels are not my jam. I connect very deeply with the earth spirits, with the plants, the trees, collective energies, giants, fun stuff. It has never been angels. And since this download came through about the course, every day, every night, the ringing in the ears, the insanely high vibration, there's so many foods I can't even touch. There are so many activities I can't even do because the vibration is so high and so intense as I channel information for this course. So I'm launching my first course next week, and I'm really excited, and I'm really nervous, and this is going to be like the test run launch. And I wanted to share these concepts and these kind of basic understandings that I have around belief work and how to address it I wanted to share it with the podcast. So please feel free to go to my website, thesacredheartshaman.com. There is a link to the courses there, and that course launches on May 11th. It is going to be live and self-paced, or one of the other, depending on which tier you choose. And check it out. Get a feel for it. Look at what's going to be included and what the outcomes will be. See if it resonates for you. That course library that I'm directing you to also has some on-demand shamanic healing, like soul retrieval, or learning how to connect with your spirit guides, or learning how to rewire your core belief with mind mapping. My goal with everything that I do is to reach as many people as possible. It's to make this work affordable and digestible and easy for you to take and run with it. And hopefully this will just help further that goal. So thank you for listening to my unconventional car podcast today. As I'm driving around running errands in Crystal River, Florida. I do hope to see some of you in that course. It's going to be amazing. 6 weeks is not a huge commitment. It's not a huge financial commitment. And I can promise you one thing, and that is that if you follow the protocols that I use, that I've been using for years, you will transform. Your life will be drastically different. And I would challenge you to try. Anyway, have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you again.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to know more about me and my work, you can find me at www.sacredheartshaman.com.